Hi, I'm Nono.
Hello, I am Ajoke.
Welcome
Welcome
to
to
our
our
YouTube
YouTube
channel.
channel. Yeah, this is the concluding part of the video we did last week where we had an open discussion on drug use and drug abuse. We hope you enjoyed the last one. So,
You
watch
have
the
fun
concluding
enjoying this
part
one
too.
too. Thank you. We love you.
Love you.
I took the both of them, so our next session was crazy. Like,
I was getting
she was traveling and she was calling me like, so man, I enjoyed it and all of that. So she was just feeling praises for me. So the third one was I didn't know tramadol I'd already was so I started using tramadol and Viagra anytime I was supposed to have sex all those period with her because I wanted to keep impressing the girl. So I was coming from Lagos to Ilorin. I didn't know tramadol was controlled in Nigeria at that point. So I had tramadol in my bag and I had the Viagra in my bag. So these silly police guys at the boundary at Ilorin, they stopped me and they checked my bag and they saw tramadol. And that was the last time I used that shit. Those guys, they harassed me. You know how Nigerian police are, especially if you're close to being wrong. And then like, what did I do? She slap, all of that. So it was crazy. Those are the period shot.
Okay. And do you still use drugs?
I still take alcohol. I still use marijuana too once in a while. But they are all one-off stuff. Usually for recreational purposes.
Why is someone else stop for you? You look at that one like Aqua is your baby.
No, it's not like I take it every day. It's not like I take it every day now.
There was a day you were taking how many GB? Baby, I miss you. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Shut up. But no. Really, okay, I agree. And that's why I don't stock alcohol at home. I don't buy beyond one bottle or two bottles. Especially if they are beer, if it's a beer, I can buy maybe 3 or 4 bottles. But if it's those bitters and rum and dresses, I don't buy beyond one bottle.
So this
I
takes
don't
me to
abuse
the next question that can you quantify your vulnerability to, let's say, okay, alcohol now, because I already know how you react to alcohol. Like, can you quantify your vulnerability to alcohol? Imagine you have the opportunity to stock up the house. Like, we'd be like, please don't let me buy this. Don't let me buy this.
I've had like we have the money to buy alcohol.
Yes, I know.
So I think one way I try to fight my drug use, honestly, because I think the one I'm really, really vulnerable to is alcohol, overuse. Is not stock them, overstock them in the house. I just don't keep more than, I keep very little. One bottle of, bitters, and if I'm going to be buying the beers, maybe 4, 3, so I don't abuse them. It's more expensive that way, so it's like a lesson for me. I could get them at least 10-20% cheaper if I'm buying more. So I deliberately do it that way so that I don't, run into.
So let's talk about prescribed drugs. And the prescribed drugs will be in 2 parts. Like, this kind of drug is prescribed by the doctor to you, and you still go beyond the dosage you're supposed to use, and somehow you find a way to quantify or
Overuse it, abuse
and
it,
justify
the overuse.
the overuse.
Okay.
And the second part is drugs not being prescribed and we going over the counter like, oh, I have headache, I have my we are even very susceptible to that more.
I think every Nigerian abuses drugs. I know at a level. I don't know people who live outside Nigeria, but in Nigeria, almost every Nigerian abuses drugs because we buy malaria drugs unprescribed. We buy,
Paracetamol
unprescribed
prescribed.
every time. Sometimes most of us take paracetamol for everything.
I'm telling you.
Take malaria drugs for everything. So if it's, we mostly abuse that kind
And
of. I think the biggest problem is still poverty.
so my question goes to you, like,
The other one,
huh?
you're going to ask about the other one where you abuse prescribed drugs.
Yes. Have you ever abused a prescribed drug?
No, because if I've been prescribed drugs for infection or malaria and the rest of them, I don't abuse them. But I've abused over-the-counter drugs, especially Procode. While I was in school, I was playing football actively. We were playing in the league, and I was playing for, apart from the school and the church team in the environment, I was playing for some other teams too. So I was playing almost active, very active football, and I was studying too. Because we were doing well in our class, so we had to keep up. And so when I have issues sleeping at night, I usually abuse Procode.
Okay.
I just take all of them so that I can sleep. And you know the crazy thing is, it got to a point they didn't make me sleep anymore. It's not crazy. We know how that works.
Yeah,
you know.
drug tolerance.
But it stopped working. Before, if I take Procode, one caplet like this, I will sleep wherever I am. Like that, I'll just stay there and I'll sleep off. So like I loved the effect. So if I wanted to sleep, I just take it.
How many do you
Like
take
that.
at once?
I
Like for
don't
that
remember.
sleep?
It's been long I took it. I think there are 4. Yes.
You took the 4 at
There
once.
was a time I used to take. If I take one, I'll sleep off. But now increasing. If I take one, I won't sleep off anymore. I'll not add it to 2. There was a time I took, I think, 4.
Wow.
4 of them I didn't sleep, and because I needed to sleep, I go to class in the morning. Sometimes in the evening I go and play football or train or something. At night I want to sleep fast so that I can wake up early and read, or wake up early for class, and I can't find those, find the sleeping I look when I need it. So usually I just doesn't make it right, you get, but it's like a lower level of drug abuse. But that was when I abused over the counter drugs.
Okay.
If I had learnt meditation, maybe I would have. If I had learned, because meditating, if I meditate, like, it's, people don't understand, how effective meditation is. Yo, boss.
Come by, guys.
Okay. So from your experience so far, how would you help? What would you advise to help people who are dealing with drug abuse, drug addiction, actually?
Okay. From my own experience, I would advise people who are dealing with drug addiction. The first step to changing is accepting the fact that you need help, and you need a professional.
Why this is important is because most people think that they are psychologists. Most people, it's easy to hear people say, "Oh, I am a natural psychologist too." It's easy for people to want to abuse already. So it's easy for people not to want to consider professional help when it comes to stuff like this. And so it is important that when you advise, you tell people, see professionals, because just like mental health is just like physical health, but it's all happening in your head. There's a physical area for some of the things that you're dealing with.
The point that accept, they see a professional. That's what I would advise. And also be willing, like, trust yourself to go through the step and be better. Like, trust yourself to be better and be willing to be better.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I like the fact that you stayed low because it makes me notice. My question for you would be, what would you advise for people that take drugs recreationally, like the way you take alcohol just for maybe you're hanging out with friends or you're having fun? What would you advise for them so that they won't lapse into the point of addiction, because there is a thin line for the vulnerability.
Okay, I think there are a lot of some of the reasons that make people. I think first things first, control your environment. If you can control your environment, control it. I don't buy so much alcohol when I'm in the house. When I know I'll be in the house most often, I don't buy plenty of alcohol. I buy little quantity. You get. Then get engaged, get a life, get engaged in stuff, work out, get a job, get work on a business.
But get a job, get a life. There are people that have jobs that get.
Yes, I was going to come into that place. Okay. Too. Some people can have work stress and all of that, relationship stress that will lead to alcohol abuse. And this is where, making sure you deal with your emotions the right way. You talk about when you have, you decide, you realize that you have emotional issues, mental health issues, psychological issues. Talk to your friends, talk to your professional. Alcohol will never ever, drugs honestly will never ever take the place of a professional or seeking mental health services. One way not to jump into flipping recreational use to addictive use
that will not cause occupational hazard
is to make sure you're dealing with your emotional issues. Don't jump into drinking when you're depressed or sad. Talk about it. Talk about why you're sad and all of that. If you think you have a problem, seek help and take it with your chest. We all need other people at some point. You get. Okay. We all need help at some point. It doesn't make you less of a human.
Yeah, I have something to add. In case you can, maybe in a situation where you can't control your environment, maybe you have to hang out with your friends and you don't want to take this. You have to be intentional about your life. Remember the time that I was working in the club that you told me that, babe, you don't like me taking shisha. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whenever we are off work and the shisha guy is always available, be like, let's just take shisha and go to bed. I'll be like, my boyfriend said I should not take it. And it's not even about my boyfriend. I did my research and it actually helped my decision to stay off it. So you were talking about how meditation can help.
Yeah.
So how has it helped you? You meditate in the morning, and I rarely see you drink in the morning.
No, usually what I did, I think I've gone bad a bit in recent times. But in my hardest times, I started doing meditation. Before, while I was quite religious, I used to be prayer. Well, meditation is very effective. I do it in the morning, so it keeps me calm, helps me control my emotions and all of that during the day. But at night, I realized that while I meditate, it helps me think through all I want to do, all I've done during that day, and I'll be doing the next day. But there's one effect that meditation has for me at night. I don't know if it works for everybody, but it puts me in a restful place. Like I want to sleep immediately after I meditate. It works like magic. And then I realized, before I used to think you have to have this yoga pose every time you meditate. But I realized you can meditate anyhow, anyway. You can sit down, you can have the yoga pose, you can lie down meditating. So the day I realized that you can lie down meditating, and I wasn't violating any rules, I put my earpiece on, played those sounds like the ocean and the rest of them. I played those meditation sounds, and by the time I started my breathing practice, it was less than 3 minutes. I just slept off, and those were periods where I used to struggle, to sleep. So I think meditation helps. Usually, I'm talking from my angle because when I used to abuse drugs, because I was trying to sleep so I could wake up on time and hit the next day and all of that. So.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk. So with all that said and done, I think we've been able to touch some few points that will be helpful for us and our viewers out there. Nona, do you have anything to say?
You. So, okay, I think we have particular interest for drug abuse because it is expensive. I don't think any addiction is cheap, but drug addiction is expensive. There is a variety of drugs. It's easy to get addicted to. It can be justified. It's easily justifiable. You'll be like, oh, it makes me sleep, it makes me confident, and all of that. It makes me high, it gives me inspiration, and all of that. So it's easy to get addicted to, but it's a shitty addiction. All addictions are shitty, but drug abuse will mess you up. It's expensive to deal with if you're really addicted to drugs. It's expensive financially, socially, personally, career-wise, and all of that. So it's not anything anyone wants to joke with. It's not anything anyone wants to toil around with. And so we hope if you begin to realize that you need help with drugs and drug use and drug abuse, you can reach out to seek a professional help. If you can pay for one, they are usually cheaper than you think, honestly. And if you can't, there are free services. Many offer free services. Mentally Aware Nigeria Initiative. They are Mentally Aware on Twitter. I think it's the same handle. Mentally Aware NG on Instagram and on Twitter, I think.
Freedom Foundation.
There's Freedom Foundation. There are actually loads of guys offering pro bono services.
A take home from my own angle. Mental health is as important as physical health. People take their physical health seriously, but they think mental health is not that important. It is important.
From the stats we've shared earlier, you realize that you're not alone with drug use or drug abuse. There are loads and loads of people dealing with drug abuse and drug use. So it doesn't make you weak seeking help. In fact, it makes you strong. It means that you're smart. It means that you're strong when you seek help for drug abuse and drug addiction, and you're intentional about yourself. We wish you all the best.
If you like this video, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Love thyself.
Love thyself.
We love you.